Hi everybody, James Van Ingen here again. The time and date of this recording is approximately 10:40 p.m. Thursday, August 21st, year 2025, Central Time Zone. It is presently summer and we're creeping up here soon on autumn. Okay, now, I'm also in Springfield, Illinois. Now, the purpose of this recording in this video is to discuss theology and politics, as I have certainly learned to do. I've earned as many as 4 college degrees. I don't know everything and I don't act like it. Let's get that clear if you've got that bouncing around up here in your thoughts about James Van Ingen. Kill that preconceived notion, please. Put that stereotype back in your pocket. It doesn't apply to me. I do not act like a know-it-all, but I do know a lot. I'm not a complete derelict moron just because I'm poor and homeless and identify as a non-religious, non-spiritual, non-believer, sometimes called a humanist or an atheist too. Yeah. Okay. Theology and politics. In year 2025, I can think of some recent examples of things that I know I have learned in theological studies, if not actually practicing some of these religions, because the USA is a melting pot culture. All religions are welcome here, if approved by our government, the United States government. They're allowed. So let's try and translate some common differences and common similarities of different religions into American politics. That's what this video is kind of here to discuss. Okay? Now, in my experiences with theology and politics, these are the things I have learned. You will find them quite consistent if you're learning a lot of those things yourselves still. And maybe haven't learned as much as I have. Again, I don't know it all. Thank you. No ancient religion, to include, for examples, any Christian denomination or sect, Islam, also known as the Muslim religion, Buddhism, Hinduism, and paganism. I'll mention some things as well about atheism and humanism in this video. The common similarities and differences translated into politics, American politics. I'm going to reiterate this. None of the ancient religions teach to demonize and criminalize the homeless community and homeless people. None of them teach that. They teach other things. They teach, for example, the Satanists and pagans teach that it's good to share art and art supplies through charity in the USA. The Satanic Church was established in the USA, the first Satanic Church anywhere on planet Earth. Look into this. Do your studies, please. was established in the 1970s. The Satanic Church had no church anywhere on earth until the 1970s. Historical fact. Okay? They do charity work in the community too. I've met them. I've lived in places like San Francisco where Satanism and the Satanic Church was established. Lots of Satanists around there, and lots of pagans. They like to share art and art supplies with the homeless. That's what they teach. They might demonize the homeless. They won't criminalize the homeless. Okay? There's one kind of example. Christians. Christians certainly do not teach to demonize people just because they cannot afford land and real estate. And certainly not criminalize it. No Christian would do that of any denomination, and there are hundreds to thousands of Christian denominations. Nothing in those books they share with us teach to do that. No Christian would politic to do those things, and certainly would disallow demonizing people for it. Okay? The Golden Dawn religion of ancient Egypt that believes in slavery, still practiced in the USA today, not just the newspaper. Still practiced all across the USA in various places. They are allowed to be here. The Golden Dawn religion does not teach to enslave people and thereby penalize and punish other human beings simply for not affording land. They do teach to enslave people for other reasons, usually much worse reasons than not being able to afford any land or real estate. But they do believe in slavery, and they do live here in 2025. I have met and known some. I'll throw a name out there. Casey Duhamel, popular author. She's Golden Dawn. Openly Golden Dawn. Very good author, good work on her behalf, I might say. Okay? What else? The Muslims. The Muslims don't teach to demonize and criminalize the homeless. No, they teach other things to do that are much nicer than that. I assure you. All right? Buddhism. They definitely don't teach to criminalize and demonize and penalize and punish homeless people for not affording land and real estate. They don't do that. I've tried to join all of these religions. I've had friends in them. There are many other religions, but I'm going to just talk about the big ones. Some of the big ones, okay, that are still here in the USA. There is, however, one religion that does teach to demonize and criminalize homeless people for being homeless here in the USA. That religion is Scientology. Politically speaking, they, the Scientologists, desire to permanently criminalize all drugs. Yes, all of them. There's no exception to that. These people, yes, they really do believe these things in all these religions and faiths. These are things they truly believe. And they act upon them if they truly believe in them. Okay? Scientology does teach that. They long ago declared that homeless people and drug users are their enemies. Scientology was invented and established in the USA in the 1950s by members of the silent generation such as L. Ron Hubbard, the author of the so-called self-help book titled Dianetics. Scientology also has its own almost secret-like scriptures aside from Dianetics. You really want to know those scriptures? You're supposed to become a Scientologist, join that church, and if you earn the privilege, you get to study their actual scriptures meant only for Scientology members, official Scientology members. Well, would you guess, since the 1950s, there are people who have left the Church of Scientology, usually because they did drugs or became homeless. Go figure, right? So me being a chronic homeless person in the USA, and someone who has left religion myself, because I don't believe in anything paranormal and supernatural, and most religions teach stuff that's paranormal and supernatural, all right? I'm like, no, I don't believe in ghosts. I don't believe in vampires and werewolves and Loch Ness monsters and Bigfoot and a number of other paranormal and supernatural claims. They've all been proven wrong some way or another and have convinced me they're wrong. That stuff's wrong. They teach a lot of other good lessons. A humanist would be like, still good people. You know what? Still good people. They can still be good people. All right? An ideology that is non-religious, known as humanism, would also demonize and criminalize homelessness in the USA, or anywhere, really. But as I've learned from other humanists, taking political actions to do such a thing is rather discouraged. Sometimes it could be necessary if matters get too dangerous and deadly, for simply not affording land and real estate. It would be a temporary action. So yes, they would do so, but they wouldn't do so permanently, forever and ever, like the Scientologists. But they might do so too. Are you following along? I hope you're following along and still enjoying this video with me. I'm quite assertive. Not exactly mean. I know what I'm talking about, and I have self-confidence and a healthy self-esteem. So, given some recent events in politics in the USA, if we consider our president, Donald Trump, and some of the political decisions he made in his first term, as well as actions he's taking now in his second term in 2025. All right? In the first term, Donald Trump announced to all America, supposedly being honest, fully honest, that he is a Christian. undoubtedly a Christian. That was in the first term. Now, it is being revealed to us. He is not a Christian. He was pretending. Let me allow to explain some things a little more concisely yet in depth. Every ancient religion teaches this as an idea as well. You'll find this consistent among them all. It is unacceptable to identify with more than one religion. And then they usually recommend their own religion. Pick one. If it's the Muslims will say the Muslims. You can be a Muslim, you can't be any other religion. But not only do they all teach that idea, okay, they also teach that there are negative consequences for doing so. There are also negative consequences for leaving their religion to go join another religion or no religion. There are negative consequences. Okay? Church of Scientology also teaches there are negative consequences for leaving their religion. You want to find out what these negative consequences are, you're going to have to do a lot more studying and practice. If you don't think I'm telling you the truth. Now, all of the ancient religions also teach, and this is common among them all, give me a moment, I'm thinking, please. It is not okay to even pretend to be a member of another religion, especially Christianity. That's pretty well noted in the doctrine. Don't even pretend to be a member of another church. If you're a Christian, you're always a Christian. Don't lie about it, not even for pretend. Acts. Think of Acts in the Judeo-Christian Holy Bible. That's pretty much what it's telling us. Don't even pretend. You're always a Christian no matter what you're doing or who you're dealing with. Don't even pretend to be a different religion. It is wrong to do so. They teach these lessons, I assure you. Okay? However, the newer religions, like Scientology, that's okay. Shit, you can join the Church of Scientology and go pretend to be a pagan. You can join multiple churches in the Church of Scientology. That's not forbidden in their teachings. If you want to be part of the Christian church and the Church of Scientology, that's okay. As long as you are always a member of the Church of Scientology. That's okay. Humanists also teach a similar idea, but again, I remind you, that's a political ideology. Most of all, it's mostly political. It really is. Some people claim it's philosophical. I've entertained the idea. Yeah, it's kind of philosophical, kind of political. Okay? They too would teach the same idea as the Scientologists. That's okay. If you want to run around and pretend to be a ghost or a unicorn or something like that, and be nice to people, by all means, please do. The world needs more of that. That's okay. Okay? So now with Donald Trump's recent executive order to criminalize homelessness, he is revealing he is a Scientologist pretending to be a Christian, or he would not have done so. No genuine Christian would demonize and criminalize homelessness. It's wrong in those religious faiths. You don't politic that way. It's not okay to politic that way or any other way to do those things. So he is indeed exhibiting he is either a Scientologist pretending to be a Christian this whole time, or B, he is a humanist pretending to be a Christian while president of the USA. Let's think about these things, huh? So Donald Trump is not actually a Christian, or he would have never made those choices. He is not a member of any of the ancient religions. He might pretend to do so, though. He is an entertainer, after all. He's a professional entertainer, but what is his genuine identity? Does he even know? Other than Donald Trump. Can't help but wonder at this point in time as history is developing. Can't help but wonder. What is his identity? He does seem rather wishy-washy. Is he a Christian? Is he a Scientologist?